Fala galera, beleza? Aqui quem tá falando é o Duque voltando com o Detonado. Galera, foi o seguinte, eu tinha passado essa parte, achei que tinha gravado, mas não tinha, cara. O computador me trollou. Então tô voltando aqui, cara. Vamos lá, já sei praticamente tudo que tem que fazer, então vai ser bem resumido. Eu acho que eu vou editar, só deixar as partes principais que eu acho ideal pro vídeo, porque é muito longa, cara, essa parte.
I'd count on it. Be ready.
I hear fighting ahead.
Namelana Sabanale.
The wretch mocks you, master.
These are but remnants. They will not keep us from the Well of Sorrows.
Well of Sorrows?
Be honored. Witness death at the hands of a new god.
Cannot be.
Cross the bridge, now!
At last, Mathal's sanctum. Let us proceed before Corypheus interferes.
You said Corypheus wanted an alluvion, but he mentioned a Well of Sorrows. Which is right?
I am uncertain of what he referred to.
Could they be the same? Could alluvion translate into Well of Sorrows?
No. It seems an alluvion is not the prize Corypheus seeks. Yes, I was wrong. Does that please you? Whatever the Well of Sorrows might be, Corypheus seeks it, and thus you must keep it from his grasp.
Let's find this well before Corypheus's people do. I want to know how Corypheus returned to life. We saw him die.
And his life force passes on to any blighted creature, Darkspawn, or Grey Warden.
So that's how the bastard survived, Hawk.
We'll find a way to stop Corypheus once we're done here.
'Tis strange. Archdemons possess the same ability, and still the Grey Wardens are able to slay them. Yet Corypheus, they locked away. Perhaps they knew he could do this, but not how.
Bom galera, eu tava lendo ali a legenda que eles estavam conversando. Bom, na hora que tava rolando a cutscene, acreditei que o dragão iria abrir a porta, cara, ia dar uma cabeçada e iria abrir a porta ali, mas conseguiram fechar com uma magia, cara. Isso é bom.
It appears the temple's magics are still strong.
Is this Elven? Does it say anything about this Well of Sorrows?
Atishol vir Abalassan. It means enter the path of the Well of Sorrows.
There is something about knowledge, respectful or pure. Shivenen. Shivenen. 'Tis all I can translate. That it mentions the well is a good omen.
No começo.
At least we know the Well of Sorrows was important.
Supplicants to Mythal would have first paid obeisance here. Following their path may aid entry.
Conclua o ritual para abrir a porta.
Long dead or no, I don't like it.
If need be, unless you wish to turn back.
Opa, peraí que eu pulei uma parte aqui, ó.
Do not step any place you have stepped before.
Comecei errado aqui, galera. Foi mal.
Desolation. This is where
É bem simples, não é tão difícil assim não.
It is where they paid fealty to the
Pronto.
gods. I have seen it in the Fade. Only the reverent were permitted to touch this ground, and only in solemn contemplation.
Você só tem que pisar em todos os quadrados sem repetir o mesmo, cara. Pra quem jogou Pokémon Ruby, vai saber mais ou menos o que tem que fazer aí.
already encountered the
Pra quem não,
guardians.
é só fazer o que eu fiz agora.
These elves are starting to scare me.
The mages trespassed on their sacred ground.
So are we. I'm just saying.
Don't let them pass!
Bom, galera, essa parte eu vou passar porque é só luta.
Come on, we might catch them.
Hold a moment. While they rush ahead, this leads to our true destination. We should walk the petitioner's path as before.
An army fights and dies for us. The longer we tarry, the more soldiers we lose outside. Let's jump down and be done with this place.
In this case, I must agree with the witch. This is ancient ground, deserving of our respect.
You see the urgency? We cannot find the Well of Sorrows unprepared.
Tenho certeza, viemos para impedir. Aqui, tenho
Don't know
certeza.
what's behind those doors. They might have a reason for going another way.
Had they the option, they would have proceeded. That must lead to their goal.
Their goal or yours?
There is a danger to the natural order. Legends walked Thedas once, things of might and wonder. Their passing has left us all the lesser. Corypheus would squander the ancient power of the well. I would have it restored.
I wasn't expecting your answer to be so romantic.
Trust me, your surprise is matched only by my own. Mankind blunders through the world, crushing what it does not understand. Elves, dragons, magic. The list is endless. We must stem the tide, or be left with nothing more than the mundane. This I know to be true. I read more in the first chamber than I revealed. It said a great boon is given to those who use the Well of Sorrows, but at a terrible price.
Por que não disse isso antes? Aqui.
Did you not trust me enough to tell me about this price when you read it?
I hoped to find more information. If I intended to cheat you, I would have feigned ignorance entirely. My priority is your cause, but if the opportunity arises to save this well, I am willing to pay the cost.
And gain what?
That is what we must discover. The rituals may point the way.
Bom, galera, agora vai ser a parte do enigma que eu estava dizendo. Eu esqueci da cutscene, mas eu vou pular para eles e depois eu volto para a sessão normal, né? Porque é bem chatinho seguir até os enigmas. Então, bora lá pro primeiro. Bom, galera, o primeiro vai ser esse aqui. O primeiro vai ser o da alavanca que eu vou fazer, que tem uma arara bem em cima da alavanca. Você não vai puxar a alavanca, você vai fazer o seguinte. Você vai começar por aqui, ó. Você vai começar por aqui e vai dar a volta. Aqui, ó. Aí a escada tá aqui, tá vendo? Eu não pisei na escada ainda, eu venho direto pra cá. Certo? Vou fazer isso aqui, isso aqui, isso aqui. Fechei aqui o primeiro. Aí o que eu vou fazer? Eu vou vir aqui puxar a alavanca. Iniciar da onde eu parei, né? Que foi nesse daqui. E vamos continuar. Esse aqui não é tão difícil de fazer não, cara. Vem pra cá, vem pra cá. Lembrando que tem um último aqui, ó. Pronto. Fizemos o primeiro. O segundo eu vou dar um pulo aqui e já vou pra lá. Aí. O segundo, cara, você vai ter que começar, deixa eu ver aqui. O segundo você pode começar daqui mesmo. O segundo não é tão difícil assim. Isso daqui. Aí só vai começar fazendo zigue-zague, cara. Bora lá para o terceiro. O terceiro e último, cara, ele vai ser um pouco mais chatinho de fazer, mas vamos lá. Vamos começar por esse lado aqui. Deixa eu ver. Vamos começar, tem que começar primeiro fazendo tudo aqui embaixo. Vamos lá. Vem por aqui. Aqui faz os 3 daqui. Tem que ser direto nessa sequência que eu estou fazendo, viu? Porque vocês vão entender agora. Aqui, ó. Daqui vocês vão ter que pular pra cá e continuar. Então, vamos continuar. Aí depois desce a escada. Aqui, ó. Vou fazer primeiro de cima. Depois eu desço e faço lá embaixo. Lá. Vamos dar a volta aqui, ó. Já que eu comecei aqui. Pronto, terceiro e último feito. Agora, bora lá pra porta.
Come, let us see if the doors have opened. Tis not what I expected. What was this chamber used for?
We're being watched.
Vernavis, you are unlike the other invaders. You stumble down our paths at the side of one of our own. You bear the mark of magic, which is familiar. How has this come to pass? What is your connection to those who first disturbed our slumber?
Eles são meus inimigos. Nosso sono. O primeiro diga quem é você. Eles são meus inimigos.
They are my enemies as well as yours.
I am called Abelas. We are sentinels, tasked with standing against those who trespass on sacred ground. We wake only to fight, to preserve this place. Our numbers diminish with each invasion. I know what you seek. Like all who have come before you, you wish to drink from the Vira Belasan.
The place of the Way of Sorrows. He speaks of the well.
It is not for you. It is not for any of you.
Fale com ele, Solas. Vamos lá. Vamos pedir pro Solas falar aqui.
Perhaps he'll listen to you. What shall I say, Inquisitor? Shall I sway him from a millennia of service by virtue of our shared blood? He clings to all that remains of his world, because he lacks the power to restore it.
E não queremos prejudicá-lo. Aquele poço pode ser útil.
I did not come here to fight you, nor to steal from your temple.
I believe you. Trespassers you are, but you have followed rites of petition. You have shown respect to Mythal. If these others are enemies of yours, we will aid you in destroying them. When this is done, you shall be permitted to depart. And never return.
This is our goal, is it not? There is no reason to fight these sentinels.
Consider carefully. You must stop Corypheus, yes, but you may also need the well for your own.
Não confio neles. Talvez precisamos do poço.
I refuse.
As you wish. Our duty is clear. The Vira Belasan shall not be usurped, even if I must destroy it. Masal Dinan.
No!
Bom, galera, eu pulei até aqui porque rolou umas cenas de lutas legal, mas não tão legal assim pra mostrar no vídeo, já que vai ter muita cutscene, então eu não quero deixar ele muito estendido. Então bora lá, galera.
Well of sorrows. So Mithal endures.
Andraste, guide us.
So gross. The well knows its vessel, and those who would despoil it. Stand aside, Inquisitor.
And you are?
I'm called Calpurnia. But when I partake of the well, names will be meaningless. Leave. This is not your time.
Pare, muitos já morreram, você não terá o poço.
Take one step toward that well and I'll finish you.
You serve your people. You have one last chance to save them. The Well of Sorrows overflows with knowledge, power abandoned by those the elves worshipped as gods. To walk the Fade without the anchor. That is what the Well of Sorrows will give Corypheus.
Isso não terminará, isso terminará em desastre porque você repectá-lo, não se eu pegar o poço antes. Claro que eu vim até aqui, eu quero o poço.
So if I take that power before him, Corypheus will be left empty-handed.
Simple fool. I knew you would take the well for yourself, to ransack its wisdom, to try to defeat Corypheus. Come then, one last sacrifice! If I fall, it will not be by your hand.
Ou seja, ela se sacrificou para mim não ganhar XP. Essa Morgan, cara, é foda.
You heard his parting words, Inquisitor. The elf seeks to destroy the Well of Sorrows.
So the sanctum is despoiled at last.
You would have destroyed the well yourself, given the chance.
To keep it from your grasping fingers. Better it be lost than bestowed upon the undeserving.
Fool. You'd let your people's legacy rot in the shadows.
Para trás, Morgan, vamos ver. Precisamos daquele poço. Se foi, acabou. Vamos lá. Precisamos daquele poço.
Calpurnia thought the well's knowledge was powerful. It could help stop Corypheus.
I care nothing for your petty conflicts, Shemlin.
You'll care when Corypheus arrives for the well.
The well clearly offers power, Inquisitor. If that power can be turned against Corypheus, can you afford not to use it?
Do you even know what you ask? As each servant of Mithal reached the end of their years, they would pass their knowledge on through this. All that we were, all that we knew, it would be lost forever.
Sinto muito, eles ficariam cerrados para sempre. já está perdido. Cara, sinto muito por isso, né? Mas eu quero o poço, cara.
This can't be easy. Holding on to what's left.
You cannot imagine. Each time we awaken, it slips further from our grasp.
There are other places, friend, other duties. Your people yet linger.
Elven such as you?
Yes, such as I.
Our duty is all that remains. Those who drank from the Virabalasan paid a great price, bound to the service of Mythal for eternity.
You claim Mythal was truly a god.
To you, it shall make no difference.
He was defending all that was left of what once was.
And would have happily buried us in the process.
Não podemos fazer mais nada agora. Peraí. Foi errado, muito bem.
I'm glad you had the presence of mind to stop him.
He was a slave to duty, when he could have been so much more. You'll note the intact Illuvian. I was correct on that count, at least.
Is it still a threat? Can Corypheus use it to travel the Fade?
You recall when I took you through my Illuvian, I said each required a key? The well is the key. Take its power, and Mythal's last Illuvian will be no more use to Corypheus than glass. I did not expect the well to feel so hungry.
Isso não é bom. Toma cuidado. Isso não é bom. Peraí.
Seems like that should be a concern.
Será que ele vai matar alguém aqui?
I am willing to pay the price the well demands. I am also the best suited to use its knowledge in your service.
Or more likely to your own ends?
What would you know of my ends, elf?
You are a glutton drooling at the sight of a feast. You cannot be trusted.
Of those present, I alone have the training to make use of this. Let me drink, Inquisitor.
Como posso confiar em você? Talvez ninguém deva usá-lo. Você quer isso mesmo? Vamos ver, investigar aqui. A única que tem treinamento. Você quer isso mesmo? Como posso confiar em você? Talvez ninguém... A única que tem um treinamento. E o preço? Vamos lá. Vamos ver. O que acontece?
Bound forever to the will of Mythal?
Bound to the will of a dead god? It seems an empty warning. Perhaps a compulsion yet remains. Who can say otherwise? I do not fear it, even so.
Você quer isso mesmo? Vamos ver se ela quer isso mesmo.
Are you sure you want this, Morrigan? We don't know what will happen.
We do not, and yet it must be done. I am ready.
Morgan, o poço é todo seu. Eu usarei o poço. Inquisidor ganhará o poder do poço. Eu conheço o perigo do poço. Eu conheço o perigo do poço. O que todo mundo pensa? Vamos ver. O que todo mundo pensa?
She is right about only one thing. We should take the power which lies in that well.
If it is truly between you and her, then let her take the risk. Make her help us all.
You're asking me? This is a lot of... weird... I barely understand how any of this works.
Enough deliberation. Give me your decision.
Eu conheço o poço. Vamos lá. Eu conheço o perigo do poço? Vamos ver aqui.
Looking at it, listening to it. That's not just knowledge from the ancient elven priests. It's their will.
How would you know such a thing?
That's what Abelos was telling us. The collective will of the priests puts anyone who drinks under a compulsion, a gas. Can't you feel it?
That would match the legends, but it does not tell us what the gas entails. I would still use the well, but you are right. We must be cautious.
Bom, eu usarei o poço. Morgan, o poço é todo seu. Só elas aprovou. Vamos ver. Vai talvez que morra aí. Deixa que ela que morra então. No meu lugar. Já que tantos morreram já. A última escolha minha o cara acabou morrendo. Então vou deixar aquela. O Toad desaprovou. O Sarah desaprovou. Cassandra desaprovou. Viviane desaprovou também bastante.
Morrigan? Are you all right?
Elasin Salah. Visan Allah. I am intact. There is much to sift through. But now we can...
Through the mirror.
It is done.
I'm pleased to report we won the battle, Inquisitor. When you went through that mirror, Corypheus and his archdemon fled the field. I'm not sure why.
What he wanted was no longer within the temple.
Perhaps. He spent so long trying to get into the temple, he probably couldn't have helped his forces by that point.
Then Corypheus is finished.
If he is wise, he will hide and rebuild his strength before he attacks again.
He will not hide.
Ele não se esconderá. Então, ele está vindo pra cá. Você parece bem seguro. Eu sei. Cara, eu acho que ele tá vindo pra cá, hein? Se ele não vai se esconder. Vamos lá. Então ele está vindo pra cá.
Meaning he will attack us directly at Skyhold.
Not necessarily. But neither will he remain idle.
And how could you have such insight into his plans?
The Well of Sorrows held many voices. And they speak to me now from across the ages. They hold wisdom. Secrets I never dreamed possible. But even they fear what Corypheus has become.
Quão poderoso ele é, isso não soa bem. Até mesmo ele pode ser morto. Bom, eu não temo o cara, vamos lá. Até mesmo ele pode ser morto.
We defeated his army, and elven magic killed him at the temple. He's not invincible.
Not invincible, but incredibly powerful and immortal. Yet, there is a way. The dragon he calls is not truly an archdemon. It is a dragon in which Corypheus has invested part of his being. He doubtless did so out of pride to emulate the gods of old. That pride can be exploited. Kill the dragon, and his ability to leap into other bodies is disrupted. He can be slain.
Tem certeza?
You're sure? If there are no bodies for him to jump to...
You assume there is a limit to the range of his power. There is not.
Then what do you propose? Killing the dragon is no simple task, if it could even be found.
There is a way to defeat the dragon, to match Corypheus in his power. The well whispers it to me now. Your help will be required, Inquisitor. Speak to me when you are ready, and we shall begin.
I'll see to Skyhold's defenses in the meantime.
Bom, galera, espero que vocês tenham gostado do vídeo. Foi incrível essa jornada aí, cara. Essa missão foi uma das melhores, cara. Eu sempre falo isso quando acaba uma missão, uma das melhores, mas cada vez ficando cada vez melhor, cara. Espero que vocês tenham gostado. Não esqueçam de se inscrever no canal, deixar aquele like, comenta aí o que vocês acharam dessa missão. E galera, se possível, favoritem e compartilhem em sua rede social. Então até o próximo vídeo. Até a próxima com mais Dragon Age Inquisition aqui no Caverna Games. Aquele abraço, falou!